sharing lunch with Jungkook somehow. Become a routine, a stupid little habit that neither of them talked about, but both showed up for. Same table in the cafeteria, same time, it didn't
Same
mean
easy
for it
rhythm.
to turn into anything. She had no will to get attached to Jungkook. Not his presence, nor the way the silence between them sometimes is more comforting than anything. Not even to the way he never commented much on the lunch she packed, and he silently eat like a starved animal. Which was happening right now again. Beside her, Jungkook was stuffing his face with her homemade lunch like he'd just been rescued from a deserted island. His cheeks were full, his brows slightly pinched together. If you don't know Jungkook, you might assume he is angry at his food. Have you never been fed back at home? She watched him with thinly veiled disbelief. God forbid a man wants to eat in peace, he said mouthful, and she scoffed. He never said much while eating. Not unless she dragged conversation out of him, which she sometimes did. Topics would pop up randomly, music, weird books, childhood snacks, and somehow they always managed to disagree on something. She thought his view on life was dull and overly serious. He thought she didn't think enough before speaking. They clashed like cold and fire, but it never got ugly. Just frustrating. Her mom helped her make part of today's lunch. The surprise on her face when she saw In actually cooking last night had been priceless. You? Cooking? Did something fall on your head? And In was too embarrassed to explain, just grumbled and kept chopping onions. Honestly, she couldn't even take herself seriously. She was the girl who hated cooking, and now here she was prepping lunches for a guy she barely knew outside of this odd little deal they shared. He took another bite now, eyes briefly closing like it actually tasted good. Then he glanced at her, maybe catching her watching, and raised a brow. What? Nothing, she said too fast, snapping her eyes down to her rice like it held answers to life. When lunch was done, they both stood and like always now walked together down the school's main ground. A long concrete path lined with cherry trees that hadn't bloomed yet. The breeze was nice, cool against her skin. She hesitated before speaking, like she was dragging the thought out of her throat with a string. I remembered something. He hummed quietly, not even glancing at her. Just kept walking with his hands in his pockets. She side-eyed him, suddenly more nervous than she meant to be. There's this family gathering coming up at the end of this month. So I was thinking, she trailed off. It might be good if we go together. No, he said flatly, not even letting her finish. What? No. His tone didn't even shift. Her shoulders sagged a little, almost offended.
Hey, that's rude.
Whatever you're thinking inside that head of yours, keep it there. I don't want to hear it. Her mouth opened to argue, but a breath left her in a harsh scream as someone collided hard against her body. She didn't even get the chance to understand it, just the grass rushing up to meet her, a solid weight, crashing on top of her. The pain was brief, but the disorientation was worse. Her head spun, a dull throb blooming at the back of her skull. Oh shit. Hey, watch your going. This isn't your damn playground. The voice that roared wasn't hers. She would have jumped if her body wasn't still trying to catch up, but the weight was suddenly ripped off her and someone. No, Jungkook was beside her, arms wrapping around her, pulling her upright. Hey, Minnie, you okay? Are you with me? His palms cupped her face, rough thumbs brushing her cheekbones. She opened her eyes slowly. His brows were furrowed, jaw clenched in worry. His hands didn't move off her face as he squished her cheeks lightly, trying to get her attention. Answer me, yeah?
He whispered, still soft. She blinked a few times, her head spinning. I think... Yeah, I'm okay.
Are you sure? His eyes narrowed, inspecting her like he was looking for hidden injuries. Does your head hurt? Just a little. Not bad. Double quotes. And suddenly she wanted to laugh. She didn't know what was funnier, the fact that she was leaning into Jungkook like a tired kitten, or that his voice was being so gentle it barely sounded like him. She needed to sit up first before making fun of him. Hey, I'm so sorry. the boy who ran into her was saying. I didn't dot see you there. I was trying to catch the ball. Dot, are you okay? It's fine. She sat up slowly, groaning a little, and unconsciously leaned back against the arm Jungkook still had around her. People were gathering dot now, peeking, whispering. But her attention was only on the boy next to her. Look at me dot double quotes, dot eyes meeting his. You dizzy? Tell me if it hurts dot anywhere. I'm fine, she groaned, rubbing her nose. Everything hurts. You are not lying, are you? He squinted at her like she'd lie about a dot brain injury just to spite him. You two need a minute alone? Someone behind them chuckled dot softly. That made Jungkook stiffen, and she just groaned and pressed a hand to her forehead. Can we not do the audience thing right now? She was embarrassed to dot say the least. I'm really sorry. The boy said again. Yeah, Jungkook bit out, not even letting her answer. Next time keep dot your head out of your ass when you're playing catch. Dot, the boy scurried away like he was afraid Jungkook might tackle him next. So does everyone leave one by one? She could still feel few eyes on them. Help me to stand, will you? Her voice coming out a little breathless, not dot from pain. Just the weird heaviness of being the center of attention for a dot second too long. Jungkook didn't say anything, but his hand was already there. Firm around her elbow as he helped her up like she weighed nothing. She swayed a dot little, and his grip instinctively tightened. You good?
He asked, eyes scanning her again. Yeah, but I'll start feeling dizzy if you ask one more time dot double quotes dot. He blinked.
Once, and then like he just remembered himself. He let go of her like she was fire. His hands disappeared into his pockets fast.
His shoulders going stiff. Right, he said, looking away, just making sure.
She tilted her head at him. He was weird. They began walking again, dot slower this time. The air between them a little thicker than before. Her dot head still felt a little floaty, but she managed. She glanced up at him dot once, but he was staring ahead, lips pressed in a tight line. And she just dot was wondering what's going on his head. Why not Jungkook? Dot, her words came out a little desperate. He closed his eyes, exhaling the dot remaining smoke of the cigarette he crushed under his shoes the dot moment he saw her. Not this again. It won't be that bad. For school stuff? Fine, I get it, he said flatly. But your family? Now, he turned, eyes narrowing a little. There was nowhere in our deal that said I had to meet your parents too. Okay, but I didn't know they'd invite me to a family thing either. They kind of told me last week too when I mentioned it to you. I didn't plan it. And they think you're my boyfriend. Jungkook cut her off like the word tasted sour. Yeah, I got that the first 100 times dot double quotes. Dot. Wyan rolled her eyes. Then what's the issue? He turned toward her now, eyes a little darker. And what exactly will? You tell them when this deal is over, huh? That we broke up because... I lie, she said. A little too fast dot. He raised a brow. Lie? Yeah, like a normal person. Things didn't work out. We wanted different things. Whatever people say when fake relationships end. You're just gonna lie to your parents? She rolled her eyes. Please. Don't act like you've never lied to yours. That's when he went silent. What you never did? She asked, surprised, but he was not looking at her anymore. He wasn't looking at anything, really. Listen, Jungkook, she said, brushing off his quietness. I've thought this through. Mingyu's gonna be there, okay? And well, if you didn't go there with me, he would probably ask stupid questions. Knowing him, he would. And then he would get one more point to make fun of me. Still nothing from Jungkook. I mean, you don't have to do anything, technically. But I just thought... She stopped herself, biting the inside of her cheek. Whatever. Maybe it's stupid. He let out a slow breath. You really care that much about what he thinks? Double quotes. No, she lied. Then sighed. Okay, maybe. But only because he used to know how to make me feel small. And I don't want to give him that kind of power again. Not in front of my family. His eyes finally met hers. What do you mean? Small? She rubbed her face. Gosh, she didn't even want to go there. Not really, but she already said too much, hadn't she? I can't believe I'm even going to talk about this. He waited. So she gave in with a shrug that barely stayed on her shoulders. I don't know. He just used to make me feel like I wasn't enough, okay? She leaned back against the low brick wall near the garden edge, arms crossed tight over her chest. Like, I'm not super serious all the time, you know? I like to joke around. I don't stress too much about stuff. I talk before thinking sometimes, and I forget random little things. I'm not a topper or whatever, I'm average at school. And he's all about goals and perfection and that 5-year plan kind of mindset. She paused, her voice catching a bit. And I'm the girl who zones out in math class, can't memorize formulas to save her life. I say things without thinking and laugh at my own jokes. I'm loud, messy, and clumsy. Not that I hate myself. I do rather give up on my love life than to change for those things who aren't worth my time. She picked at the frayed hem of her sleeve. That aside, my parents knew I was dating him. I don't even know. Probably not. Maybe I wasn't really worth it. My best friend told me I wasn't his type. She looked at Jungkook then, daring him to laugh. To say, yeah, you don't exactly scream ideal girlfriend material. But he didn't laugh. He just tilted his head a little. I don't even know why he dated me. I don't even fit in his little friend circle. And gosh, this is so embarrassing. Why am I even telling you all this? Good that you two broke up. He didn't deserve you anyway. She froze. Not because of what he said. Okay, maybe a little because of what he said, but mostly because of how he said it. Jungkook wasn't even looking at her when he said it.
He was staring off somewhere past the fence, the sky behind him pale and lazy like it didn't care about any of this.
What? I won't repeat it again. No, you just caught me off guard, okay? That's weirdly nice of you. You're not usually this not jerk, why? She muttered, unsure if she was blushing or just a little too warm under the afternoon sun. This wasn't even something she should blush on. But well, he gave her a look. That's not even a word. It's a word now. Deal with it. She said, as stubborn she was, he rolled his eyes but closing his eyes back. So you will join me, right? I don't know. Please, she said again, this time dragging out the word like it might help her case. The truth was she wanted him there to keep her company. She wanted him to hang out with her even if it's weird space like gathering. It's not even about her ex, but she can only convince him that way. And she wasn't sure she wanted to tell him this reason. Jungkook opened his eyes slowly. You're being annoying.
I know.
He stared at her for a long moment. After what felt like forever, he finally muttered, You're lucky your food's good. Her eyes widened. Wait, is that a yes? No, he said quickly. But it's not a no either, so it's a maybe? God, she was annoying. It's a don't ask me again or I'll change my mind. And grinned like she just won a war. I won't say anything else. Totally silent, promise. She held up 2 fingers like a scout's honor. Jungkook gave her a look, clearly not trusting a single word. She said double quotes. Just one more thing, she said he groaned. I knew it. Okay, but hear me out, she said, stepping closer. Hands clasped behind her back, like she wasn't about to drop a ridiculous request. Can you not wear black? That got his attention. His head turned slowly. What? Yeah, like, don't wear black. Please, that's literally my style. Exactly my point. She crossed her arms. I want us to match. He looked horrified. Match? Like couple clothes? She rolled her eyes. Relax, I'm not asking for heart-printed sweaters. Just coordinated. My dress is blush pink, so maybe you wear a white shirt, light beige pants. You know, normal human colors. I don't even own beige pants. Well, borrow, steal, I don't care. Jungkook looked up at the sky like he was expecting divine intervention. Maybe a lightning strike. Maybe a portal to another universe where he wasn't trapped in whatever this madness was. I should get a raise in this deal, he muttered. She just giggled in victory with all her teeth on display. And that's how he ended up at the family gathering. Jungkook just wanted to go home. Was that too much to ask?
He didn't know a single soul here.
These weren't his kind of people. He was the kind of guy who found comfort in silence. Who didn't like small talk or rooms filled with perfume and expensive cologne. He didn't like suits or fake laughter or wine that tasted like flavored cough syrup. He liked quiet. And this was the opposite of all that and he wouldn't even be here, if not for her. The ray of freaking rainbow and sunshine that blasted her way into his life a month and a half ago and just never left. Even when he closed his eyes now, she was still there. In his head, echoing, in the corners of his thoughts, laughing at him, teasing him, smiling like she knew the way out of whatever maze she had shoved him into. She was the moon, the very one he used to think followed him around, when he was a kid, always just above him no matter where he went. And now? Now she was next to him in a soft yellow dress that made her look like sunlight in motion, smiling up at him like this was all perfectly normal. WAs and single quotes ... he didn't belong here. The house was 3 times bigger than the place he lived in. The people here were businessmen and lawyers and people who probably owned private jets and golf memberships. Jungkook didn't even understand what his role was here. Fake boyfriend? Emotional support? Human prop? But he followed her inside anyway. ... double quotes. How much more time? He mumbled near her ear, almost like a quiet complaint he didn't really want to be caught making. And was too busy stuffing a spoonful of chocolate dessert in her mouth to answer right away. She didn't even look at him when she replied, "It's been only 30 minutes. Feels like 3 hours." She side-eyed him, cheeks puffed like a chipmunk, then swallowed. "Are you bored already?" "You're the one who said you get bored easily." He lifted a brow, "But right now, you look like you're having the time of your life." "Wanna know a secret?" "What?" "There's usually no dessert," she whispered like a child. "But today I'm getting lucky."
He shook his head, glancing at the ridiculous tower of chocolate mousse on her plate. "This is ridiculous."
"And you're missing out," she sang, digging her spoon back into the fluffy dessert. Then she tilted the spoon toward him. "Come on, try it." "No thanks," he said, leaning his head back slightly. "I'm good. Don't be a dessert snob." "Just here," she tried again, and he gently pushed her hand away. Before the argument could escalate into a full dessert war, an unfamiliar sweet voice rang from a few feet away. "Oh, are you really going to eat all the chocolate dessert?" The lady who looked exactly like just the age difference said, laughing as she approaches them. "It's yummy," she grinned back with zero guilt. Her mother laughed, then turned to Jungkook, eyes lighting up with the warmth only mothers seem to carry. "I'm so sorry, son. We've been so busy with everyone else. I've been meaning to sit down and talk to you properly. I hope you don't feel ignored." Jungkook straightened a bit, caught off guard. "No, it's all right, really. It's just that this gathering is once a year. We have to say hello to everyone or someone will get offended." "I understand," Jungkook said politely, offering a soft nod. "But," she smiled wider, her hand resting gently on his arm for just a second, "you should definitely come next time. We'd love to see you. Again, it's not often bring someone over." He nodded. "Yeah. You're always welcome, Jungkook," she said. "I hope we'll see you again, double quote. Double quote. Thank you. That's kind of you," he said, a little too stiffly maybe, but he meant it. "And stop stuffing your mouth and make him feel at home, will you?" Her mom added, tossing her daughter a knowing look before walking away with her plate full of desserts. Gave an eye roll. "I am making him feel at home. This is how I show love. You okay?" Asked, catching the look on his face. He blinked at her, like he hadn't realized he was still staring in the direction her mom walked off in. "Yeah, I'm good." "You sure?" She's nice." "She is," said, licking frosting off her fork. "Even my dad can't compete with her." That did something warm to his heart. "Anyway, since Mom said to make You feel at home. Now open your mouth.
He stared. I told you, no.
Funny thing is, I don't take no for an answer. Try me. He challenged her, raising a brow. She narrowed his eyes, a mischievous expression forming on her face. She loved challenges. The spoon came too fast for Jungkook to process, but he still managed to tilt his head at the wrong moment. The mousse missed his mouth entirely, right onto the corner of his lips and then his cheek. They both froze. Jungkook blinked, processing the sudden coldness on his skin, while In's jaw dropped, and instead of apologizing like a sane person, she burst into laughter. Loud, bright, and completely unable to stop herself. Seriously? I'm sorry, she tried, wheezing between giggles. It was an accident. I swear. You think this is funny? Yes, she said shamelessly, and that only made her laugh harder. He stepped closer to her but shrieked, stepping back. I'm sorry, let me grab a tissue for you. She looked on the table for tissue box. But there was no tissue box in sight, double quotes. The gathering's so big and you don't have tissue box. I definitely have some in my bag. Hold your grumpiness in, please. She snorted, already reaching down to dig through her purse. It's just chocolate, not acid. Here, a voice that don't belong to both of them gained here attention, and when they both turned, it was like the room dipped in temperature by 5 degrees. Mingyu was there with a folded tissue in hand. Her laughter died out instantly. She straightened, her shoulders falling back into place.